I think we are live. Welcome, everyone. Hello, good morning, good evening, um, to this after church tea time, where we are going to discuss this Sunday sermon and service in general, and a beer's talk about heart's desire. And well, before we start, I'm just gonna do a quick announcement. As we speak, the Church of Union is launching our first autumn raffle. So every donation counts as a raffle ticket. So everything that you donated from the beginning of October until the end of the raffle on October the 18th counts as a raffle ticket. And so you can, for as much as $1, you can win like prices that are valued at $35,000, which is huge. Like for example, a one-on-one coaching session with Jeff. And so it's an amazing opportunity to win something from all of the branches of the Church of Union. Twin Flames Universe, Divine Gaming, Divine Dish, and MAP. And so, help us to grow the teaching of Union and spread it worldwide. So thank you to everyone who will be donating. And yeah, let's begin with the after church tea time. I want to know how you felt about the sermon. And
I really loved it. It's something I'm awakening to more in my reality. Like my coaches, Colby and Keely, in our last group coaching session, they pointed out like places where I've been like settling and not like really honoring my desires. And like I had this old chair that I was using, and they're like, get a new chair. So like stuff like that, like it's important to honor your desires, like no matter what, in any area of your life. And like it's really awesome to know that we don't need to settle, and we don't need to like just not have what we want and not have like our dreams. We want to have those. We want that's our desire. Like God placed that in our hearts for a reason. And the story that Abir brought up like reminded me of my trip to Toronto. And I don't know if everyone knows about it, but I discussed it in Toronto Talks. Check that out. But me and Joshua basically manifested a passport within a week's time to go to Toronto, which is like kind of insane. But it just shows you like how important it is to just have complete and utter faith in God. On Monday, I like lost faith. I was like, we're not gonna make it. Then Kobe and Keely helped me see like, Marley, don't have that mindset. Don't do it. Don't give in to ego. Don't let ego say you can't have what you desire. Next day, I called up the passport company, and they're like, yeah, you can still get it by Friday. I was like, yes. And then like more challenges came up, and I just had to keep on surrendering, and I had to have the mindset that like I was going to have what I desire. Like this, it's already mine. Like what I desire is already mine, and I can't really lose that. And then it happened, and it just showed me like how powerful I am, and how powerful every one of us is. like no challenge, no obstacle in our reality can prevent us from what we desire. So that was really a good lesson to go deeper in with this sermon.
Thank you. I really love what you said. Like, it's really key to understand what you desire is already yours, because it helps you to see and hear when this is the ego talking versus when it's your heart and your true desire talking. Because when you say, I desire that, but I can't have that, it's truly ego talking. And yeah, you have to have faith, complete faith in God. Like, it really resonates with me and what I'm moving through at the moment. And on the outside, or for other people, it might seem like crazy or illogical or risky to follow your heart's desire. Like, for example, when you're changing jobs and people say, oh, you're not going to find another job, it's too risky, why would you ever quit? But if this is what you are calling a change in your life purpose, and change in your job, a change in your life, then it's all yours. And all you need to do is manifest it completely into your reality. Yeah, it's never crazy to follow your desires.
Yeah, like the twin flame journey.
And which
Like,
yeah.
yeah, you really have to say like, no, like I'm gonna do what I want, even though like you don't know what this is all about, and it's like may seem odd to you. I'm just gonna do it because this is what I want, what I deserve, no matter what.
Yeah. And same with what Abir said, like, who knew that she would have met her twin flame just like following her desires to change countries and yeah, follow her dreams. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, amen.
Yeah, I love, Marley, how you just used the word deserving too. I feel like that's a big part of the journey of reaching your desire, is like just that realization that you don't have to do something to be deserving of what it is that you desire, since it's already yours. And I mean, it's like what God placed in your heart. And so along the way, you know, ego through, I guess, experiences and whatever can try to tell you you're not deserving. And so that actually is really helpful for really clearing those places, you know, where there's that belief there or something like that. And yeah, like just getting clear, well, like if I see someone else and they're deserving too, I think that this is really helpful to me sometimes. Like I see that they're deserving and I see like that I'm happy for them. So I know that that's got to be for me too. And yeah, that feels really good to see how we're all one like that. Because I think too, like, you know, we'll be good in certain areas a lot of the time. And I guess when I say we, mean individually, and then uh like not in others, of kind of working through whatever it is that, you know, you want everything, right? Like that you're meant to have, that you just desire. And so like my experience is like, well, I see some people and it looks like they have this piece, but then they don't have this piece so much or something like that. And so it can look like, well, maybe I'm not meant to have it all, because that's what I see, you know, so much of. So working through that is really relieving. And what it helps to do too is to build a foundation that's really already there of peace. And so that can look like, I guess, like less at first, you know, like it's not about like how, you know, the shiny thing, I guess, so to speak, but it's about like, oh, like, yeah, this is actually the foundation of my desire. Like I got here and I, you know, and embracing that. And however that looks on the outside, you know, if it is like the castle, you know, right away, great. But if it's not, like whatever it is, just appreciating it, I think is really, it feels really good, and it's really helpful for like continuing that whole process of I guess like manifesting your desire. Yeah.
Yeah, like the image of like how everyone starts on like the twin flame journey. It looks like you're super single like for a long time, and you're like, I'm working towards like the ultimate love of my life. So it looks like it's not really happening on the outside for a bit, and then you're just like, yeah, but every moment you're working towards it, and you're not settling for like what you saw your parents settle for, like everyone else around you settle for. And yeah, like i I just feel like it's so like we all love ourselves very much for being on this journey, and like for not settling for less, and just like, yeah, following our desires. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I want everyone to know that they're pretty awesome for um, following their desire to have their twin flame and have their perfect life. It's pretty cool.
And then that's really sweet. I was wondering how we all felt about now. Oh, okay. Now that I'm saying it, like I don't know how to pronounce the spiritual teacher that was referred to in the sermon. Oh, Chanakya. Is that right?
I don't know.
Okay. I pulled up some info and I was looking at it, and I just thought it was really interesting. I mean, the whole legend, right? But it seems like he was really interested in power and kind of a precursor to a lot of modern economics. And so, like, when you hear like one part of the story, it's like, you know, it's very spiritual, but I like how it all, you know, like if you pay attention to like what part he played, it sounds like from what I read briefly in history, it's like this idea of how powerful your desires are. And I think why people can run away from them, because they're like afraid of just that peaceful power, you know? So if anyone has anything to add to that.
Yeah, I love that desire is what drives you to your dreams, and they have this dream and they keep having desires, and yeah, it's really so powerful that it just like keeps getting you in the flow of life in a way, because you're following your dreams and you actually want to be with God closer, like in this peace, or yeah, for example, like your twin flame, the very big piece of God, like, and that you just actually just want more God and desire to be with Him, and like more and deeper, and that's like the biggest desire everyone has at the core. So yeah, it's really good to not numb out to it and to always like follow that. Yeah.
Yeah, that reminded me of a life purpose class. I don't know which one, unfortunately, but it was before Jeff and Shaleia bought one of their cars, and was the morning, and Jeff was like, I have everything I desire in my life, and I'm really happy, and yet there is like something missing, and I don't know why. And he said that instead of going to look outside, he just like tuning to his desires, and the primary thing that he found was that he wanted more God, always more God. And yeah, it was really beautiful to see. He said like, whatever you want, like whatever you desire, your twin flame, a new car, a new house, it's always more God that you desire. And it was really beautiful and touching to hear. And also from the story that the beer said, the legend, what struck me is how determined the guru and the student were to follow through and go all in and never question the desire that God put in their hearts. I think, yeah, I think that's what touched me about their story. And yeah, I don't know if anyone has any other thoughts about it.
Yeah, I guess for me, like, best part of the story is like that they received more than, that there was so much faith, like that he was so clear on what he decided that he didn't have to question it. And if you really have that clarity in your heart, that you know that God put it there and that he guides you, and then you just follow it. And with the poison, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it's really important to just always keep faith in God. Like, with any desire you have, you just can't lose faith, because then you're giving power to ego that God is like basically like lying to you, which he would never do. Yeah, like faith is so key on your ascension journey, and yeah, just like I really I felt like I didn't really know what I was doing, like when I was getting into harmonious union. I was like, just doing me. I have faith that this will work out, and kept on chugging away, having faith, chugging away. I have faith. This is happening. It's and then I went all in with my twin flame and harmonious union, and then with life purpose stuff and just ascension, my ascension journey in general, and clearing trauma. Like, you just have to have faith through it all, and your life is so much better with faith, and when you have faith and desires. Yeah.
Yeah, I love what you said. Like, it's better with having faith and desires. If you just follow along what you think you have to do, like, that's in them out, and they are not really living. You really live with your desires, with everything you want, and with following that feeling to be closer to God, and
Yeah.
it's very important.
Yeah.
I think another thing that the heart's desires bring is like persistence on the journey, like courage to keep going. And yeah, I know that without tuning into my heart, I feel like I would have given up like a lot of times and given up on myself. And so I realized like now talking about having desires that are directly from God is actually a gift from Him. A gift that He gave us to live life fully and to be ourselves fully, and also I realized that sometimes we have like difficult challenges ahead of us, or as you said, Marty, earlier, that sometimes on the twin flame journey it feels like we are single for a long time, but it's actually because we are calling at so much more, and that our desires are so big and so great and powerful and important. Like, I think it's safe to claim our power, the power of our desires, the power of our leadership in some way. And yeah, and it's safe to have dreams and dream big also.
Yeah, one thing I was just gonna say is like giving up on yourself feels like complete and total shit. Yeah, it's like the most depressing thing to like give up on yourself and give up on like the belief that you're one with God. Like you see it like in so many people, and you're just like, wow, like these people are very sad. Like they just lost hope that they could have God in their life. And yeah, we don't need to live that way. I don't want to live that way. No one should live that way. So that's why it's so important that we're doing this work and like sharing and expanding this work. And you can help expand the work with the fundraiser. But yeah, like that's one of my like the biggest like things that has like driven me is like I can have my dreams. Like I have big dreams. People will tell me, oh, that's crazy. You want to be a director? You want to make movies? That's crazy. But yeah, I believe in God, and I believe that God put that desire in my heart for a reason, and other people have done it too, so it doesn't like mean I can't do it. And there's a clear path that God has made for me to take to be able to do this, and I'm on that path, and we're all on our path to our dreams and desires. So just gotta surrender to the path. God already laid it all out. Like Veer said, like follow the yellow brick road. There will be challenges and weird things in the way on the path, but just keep on chugging along. You'll be fine. And you will get to where you want to be, and then you'll have another dream, and just, you'll get closer and closer to God. And yeah, yeah, it's pretty cool.
I like how you brought up the Yellow Brick Road. Like one of my favorite childhood movies is Return to Oz. I don't know if anyone's seen it, but it's pretty different from The Wizard of Oz, but based on the same books. And Dorothy just clearly has this huge desire in her heart to restore the Emerald City. It's all like turned to stone, and she goes through all of these challenges, and there's a lot of bravery and courage, and it does in a way too like kind of remind me of Abir bringing up how the guru was giving his student, his disciple, a little bit of poison to, like, you know, because he kind of foresaw what could happen. Maybe there's more to the story, but that, you know, that's from what I heard, what I gather. And when he heard that, he still didn't give up. He's like, it sounds like he was like, okay, well, all right, you know, that's what I need to do. That's what I need to do. So I just thought that was interesting. And it didn't really matter. It's like he didn't, you know, like it wasn't really affecting him negatively, it sounds like, too. So yeah, I don't know if anyone has anything to say about that, but I thought that that was a really interesting part of the story. Like, I guess you have to be led sometimes, like how to work through your blocks. And that kind of sounds like what was happening, you know, but it was like a daily thing. But I think that that's what it represents to me, is just being guided through that, and kind of even, you know, like dissolving that from even happening. Like, you know, like attack isn't real. And so really, like every day, like, oh, this is not real.
Yeah, it's basically like surviving death and like just dismantling the illusion of death, ego. Yeah, I know, like, thanks for bringing that up. I didn't really look into that deeper, but it's cool. Yeah, like it's an everyday occurrence where you're just like saying no to death. You're saying no, like, to poverty and ego. Yeah, that's really like important, like that discipline, and knowing that like you're more powerful than any poison or anything. It's pretty cool. Like we're all spies. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like on a secret mission of like fulfilling our desires.
You miss it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's very hero's journey, kind of. Yeah, but what that brought up for me was that the guru does not hurt you; he only loves you, and yeah, is only a means of God to make you stronger, to make you more powerful and ready to live your life fully. That's what. Yeah, I think that's what's brought up for me, and yeah, I think I had another thing to say, but I forgot. Yeah, also that I think you don't have anything to fear. Like what could have stopped the student and future emperor in the story was his fear that he was going to be hurt, but it did not stop, and he was never hurt. He was actually made stronger. So that's really inspiring.
Yeah, thank you so much for bringing that up. It's like we wouldn't have anything that we have right now if it weren't for Jeff and Shaleia, our gurus. Like I would not know that I could have my dreams if it weren't for them. I would not know that we could heal racism and heal separation and like death and all these things that were so depressing to me. If we didn't have Jeff and Shaleia like showing us like we could have this, and that we don't need to like give in to the fears of these things. And yeah, so I'm very grateful.
Yeah, you really need to be reminded too that you have them. Like you can't like do it alone, and having reminders is really helpful.
You kind of cut out. I don't know what you said.
It's really helpful to stay reminded of your desires, because sometimes you kind of fall asleep again and or forget and are not sure. So
Yeah,
sure.
that's when God's like, wake up, stop being asleep. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it a few times that I had to big wake up call from God, like, hey, this is what you want. Like, so that's really, yeah, sometimes you really need a big wake up call or contrast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. God doesn't want to see you suffer anymore. Be separate from him or the illusion of that. It's like, come on, come home. Stop being so grumpy.
I feel like one of the things that could block us from following our true desires could be the fear of change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's been a big thing for me. And now that I've said it, I feel like it's so little, like you don't have to fear. And yeah, I think that's something to think about, and I will keep working through it. But most of the time, in my experience and what I've seen from my mom, for example, is that change would cause us stress because she didn't know, she was fearful of the unknown, of what was coming, that something bad could happen. And yeah, now with these teachings and unionism, I'm certain that nothing bad can be on the other side of this change. And I can release the stress and the fear that I felt at like every like changing, like turning points from my life. So yeah. And
Yeah. Go ahead.
sorry, I feel like yeah, once people realize that I think change is gonna be for one gentle, and it's gonna be our societies are gonna change like so much faster than what we're used to now. So yeah.
Yeah, like whenever I'm like fearing change, I kind of like remember like the like nature and like trees are always changing. They're always growing bit by bit, and like they're not like trying not to grow, or they're like stressed out when they're growing, or they're just growing. They're just doing their thing. And yeah, it's really just about like surrendering to God and releasing like the fear that like can be attacked, or that like that yeah, like that you can be attacked, because it's God's not going to lead you somewhere where you'll be hurt, because he doesn't create hurt. You create it, or you make it. But yeah, it can be very peaceful to change. We have a bit of like a struggle bus mentality in our consciousness, like trudging forward, like, this has to be hard or it's not worth it. But no, you can let that go and just relax into the change.
Amen. I just to have peaceful change always.
Me too.
Me 3.
Or
Okay.
I'm wondering, do you have any comments?
I looked at them recently and they're mostly just like, you know, nice. Let's see, Chris, you just said, yes, your desires are in your heart for a reason. And the other comments are mostly saying hi, some excitement about the raffle. So, which is great. Hi, everyone. Thanks. Exactly. Desires are in our hearts for a reason. And that brings up, I turned to this page in Twin Flames, Finding Your Ultimate Lover, 118, which I believe was the same thing that Abir was reading. So it says, you see God is in your twin flame, and that is the very being you love, adore, and desire so deeply. It is God you desire. And then I'm skipping ahead a little bit here, but it says, and you will ultimately discover your relationship with God results naturally in your relationship with your true twin flame. And I was thinking about that a little bit. I read it while we were talking, and it's like this idea that all we really desire is to be with God. And so all of these desires that are in our hearts are really that one desire and leading us to that desire. And it's all kind of like, it's like one path, like we desire to be with God and that clicks and everything else can fall into place. And also other things clicking and falling into place is also amplifying, like, you know, just more of that oneness with God, you know, in our hearts, and fulfilling that desire too, and expanding that love.
I love it. And I also love that we all desire God ultimately, but we don't desire Him in the same way. Like, obviously, we all desire our twin flames, but not at the same time. Some people desire to create movies, some people desire to teach. Some people desire to do gardening, maybe. And yeah, it's like so beautiful to see that we desire God, but it's expressed in our own unique way as children of God, and it doesn't look quite the same from one person to another. And yeah, I think that's a foundation for a rich life, full of experiences. And yeah, as Abir said, adventures, and just like your life adventure with God. I like what I think about when I feel into the sermon and our discussion right now is like kind of this magical feeling, like exactly like the yellow brick roads, like following our desires and following God is magical, and it brings us to unique journeys and things that we didn't even think about, and all in our own way and in our own time. Yeah. Yeah, it just makes me appreciate the beauty that God puts in our lives.
Yeah, I love that. And the other side of it is like we all have like God that we like desire to share. Like we have our own unique God that we're designed to share with the world. And that's also so beautiful too. Like we all have that unique piece of the puzzle that makes consciousness our makes God. And it's you're always like wanting to be closer to God and wanting to share that God and get closer and share more of that God. And yeah, I think that's cool.
This reminds me of something like when you have like a desire to give, like a dream to give, then there is always someone on the other side who desires to receive that piece you have. And that's like this two pieces of the puzzle, and that's why I love it, that it's there for a reason. Sometimes you want a dream of receiving something, and other times you dream of sharing or giving, and then you connect with the dream of someone else as well, because we're all like connecting our dreams together. Yeah. Like you desire to make movies, but people desire to watch great movies, for example.
Yes. I love that.
Or teach about twin flames and help people in harmonious union. Yeah. So it all comes together. Yeah.
So we are nearing the end of our discussion, I feel. Anything that you would like to share? Anything to close on today?
Are there any more comments?
Oh, Deanna just said, at least I'm just seeing it. I love what you all are saying. Very beautiful discussion. So yeah, that it's pretty much it. And I was gonna say something that Adam and Brianne highlighted from the sermon was Abir's story of, packing her bag and just like going off with just kind of the essentials, and I just really loved that. I think we've probably all been there, and maybe continue to go there in certain ways, but like it's like just, yeah, that idea of continuing to humble yourself too, to like what God has in store for you, for me. And like yeah, it was just a really beautiful story that she shared, like her personal experience. It really resonated. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say on that.
For me, it was like the fact that she met her twin flame by following her desires to change countries. And it reminded me of the fact that I moved out of my parents' house at 18, and I just felt attracted to the city, and I didn't really know why until like I discovered that my true twin flame was living like 20 minutes away, and like just a few weeks, months ago. And yeah, just saying that God's desires are perfect and God's plan is perfect. And you just need to go along with it.
Yeah, I love how God just like gets us all to travel all the time. Well, like a lot of us. It just like Shaleia going to Sedona and like I was with like I in Keeley like following her false twin flame like all the way to Portland where her true twin flame was. It's like God is just God is always leading us perfectly to where we are supposed to be.
Yeah, I like how that takes us full circle to how you were sharing in the beginning your experience going to Toronto, because that was a really cool story as well. Because yeah, like passports can be kind of difficult, you know, kind of tricky, but it's like when you just kind of like looked past it, you know, like there's something more important there than bureaucracy. And that is such an important lesson about desire too, because there is a lot of sometimes bureaucracy to move through in fulfilling certain desires. But yeah, it's okay to move through that and to not like be deterred. I also pulled a card as a closing, and it's from Crystal Angels by Doreen Virtue originally, and it's smoky quartz, clearing negativity, release negativity from within or around you. So I thought that was a nice way to end, because it's like all you really need to do to resonate with your desire is to really do that in a way. Clear away like anything that's not even really there in truth.
Thank you. Yeah, does everyone feel complete? Or Liane, would you like to share something else?
I feel complete here. Just a good discussion.
Nice. Yeah, I really liked this discussion as well. Thank you so much. And just to remind you, we just launched the waffle. The raffle. I have a bit of a pronunciation problem, but yeah, don't forget to donate for the raffle if you haven't yet, and know that for just $1 donated, you will have the chance to win one of the prizes, map coaching sessions, like twin flame coaching sessions, readings, Jeff's Romance Report Unleashed, one-on-one coaching session with Jeff, and an art piece by Shaleia, and so many more things. Like we shared the link in the description, not the description, but the chat. So check it out, and yeah, have a great week, everyone, and thank you for attending the after church tea time. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Subscribe.